Let me just thank everybody. This is overwhelming for coming tonight and supporting what we're wanting to do. I especially thank the staff at Hug and Molly's for putting this all together for this event. I see a lot of faces that I worked with for 12 years as probate judge and county commission chairman, and I'm extremely grateful that I had the opportunity to serve this county for the last 12 years. But what I'm trying to do now is get to a different perspective where I can serve more, give more to the citizens of Henry and Houston counties. I apologize for glancing at notes. I rewrote a lot of this afternoon, and I have found that when you speak, if you're going to stay within like a 9-minute time limit, you better go by your notes and not go off script. So forgive me for doing that. You know, I got here an hour and a half early and was just trying to think about what I wanted to say, and my eyes kind of drifted southeast a little ways. And it reminded me of a story that I heard a long time ago that I think is relevant. Shell Clinic sits what used to be a 3-wood for me. It's now a driver and a 5-iron, and it didn't move. I'm told that this happened on a typical hot South Alabama Saturday afternoon. A 25-year-old father-to-be sat nervously on the grass between the open window of delivery room number 5. Shell Clinic had no air conditioning. He continuously looked at a new $30 pocket watch that he was holding. Earlier that morning, he had made a $10 bet with a friend that he would get his first son today. After what seemed to be an eternity, he heard a baby's cry come through the open window. And then the words from the nurse, "It's a boy." The new father jumped up, and in his excitement, he took that new pocket watch and he threw it across Columbia Road into the woods near Miss Marjorie Mills's house. I'm told he never found that watch. He basically threw away $30 to get $10 in return. His name was Sport. He named his son David. So how is this relevant? In state government, if we spend $300,000 knowing that we only get $100,000 in return, it would be a gross mismanagement of public funds. But the difference is Daddy had worked for that $30, and I guess he'd earned the right to do what he wanted to with it. On the other hand, elected officials are entrusted with public funds that come from your pocket, the pocket of the citizens. I take that trust very seriously. I've always heard that you cannot run government like a business. Well, maybe that's true on the revenue side of the ledger, but you can always find ways to keep a close eye on expenses. I learned that as a young boy watching our family struggle when I was growing up on a dirt road near Shorterville. 5 of us lived in 4 rooms. We had no inside bathroom, just an outhouse and a Sears and Roebuck catalog. And after our parents' divorce, other family members, some of whom are here, stepped in to make sure that my sister and I got the things we needed growing up. And I thought maybe that's why I find so much joy in trying to help others. After working my way through college, I know now that it was God's plan and a blind date in Tuscaloosa that led me to the 20-year-old girl he knew I needed. Now, 53 years later, 4 children, 11 grandchildren, Karen remains the love of my life. And she always will be. She's shy, but she's solid, and I'm not going to ask her to raise her hand or anything. For almost 50 years, I've been involved in local, regional, and state public service, and all but the past 12 years were on a volunteer basis. Many of us have worked together to establish exciting new organizations. The Henry County Youth Leadership Program, the Leadership Henry Adult Program, the Abbeville Boys and Girls Club, the Bethlehem Walk to Emmaus, and so many others. As a longtime owner of a local Ford dealership, I've known the challenge of meeting payroll when a dozen families were depending on you during some tough economic times. For the past 12 years, including COVID, I was heavily involved with county budgets that provided security for more than 100 families. That's just one of the reasons that I strongly support economic development and especially workforce development for high school grads who may not want to attend a four-year college. They'd rather get in a skill-based training that would provide them an early entry into a good-paying workforce. We must help them discover their niche in life, their skills, what they enjoy doing. Just yesterday, I rewrote this today, just yesterday I was in Troy with 220 other people who were joined by several key state leaders to emphasize the importance of career tech, workforce development, and youth apprenticeship. That is now their top priority. I'm not at all against four-year colleges. I'm a product of both a community college and a large university. But we cannot underestimate the importance of a skilled workforce. We'll always need engineers and attorneys and doctors. But we see every day the shortage of skilled electricians, plumbers, welders, auto mechanics, nurses, IT specialists. I'm very thankful for the Wallace College team who worked so hard to design and provide the programs to help us fill that need. One of my major goals is to work closely with Superintendent Beasley and the Henry County Economic Development Team to secure additional funding to combine with the $10 million grant to help make the Henry County Career and Technology Center in Abbeville one of the very best in the state. I'm most appreciative of Senator Donnie Chestine's strong leadership in the area of career tech. He's a true hero when it comes to workforce development. In 2020, I was elected president of the Association of County Commissions of Alabama. During that time, I chaired its statewide legislative committee and made hundreds of lasting relationships all across our state. During my 2 terms of service, I was in the State House on a regular basis to help get good bills passed, but just as importantly, maybe more so, to help get danger bills defeated. Now I'm seeking a position that will allow me to help from a much broader perspective. We're at a unique point in our nation's history. Regardless of party, economic status, educational background, people are demanding leaders who will serve with clarity, honesty, and integrity. I pledge to work hard every day for the citizens of Henry and Houston County. Serving others has been one of the great joys of my life. Whether it's helping someone find a good job or working with those family members dealing with mental illness or helping a child find his forever home through the adoption process. As your representative, I pledge to first always listen. I will communicate with you clearly, often, and honestly. My cell number and email address will be on our campaign literature. I'll send weekly emails and articles to Eddie. We can call it From the State House to Your House. You will always be informed about what's going on in Montgomery during and between legislative sessions. And above all, I will continue to follow the principles that have always guided my public service career as well as my personal and professional life. That, my friends, will never change. Now, that's our plan, and that's our goal. How can you help? You can volunteer. The next 6 months will require a lot of work, a lot of planning, a lot of resources. Please continue to be an advocate. Tell others about our mission. And you can help financially with the campaign. We welcome your time, your thoughts, your ideas, your resources, and definitely your prayers. Before Randy Green, our pastor, offers the benediction, I'd like to close with this thought. You know, you have to stay on your toes to keep up with the lingo used by today's young people. Are any of you familiar with the term 6'7"? Anybody know that one? I didn't. I'm told it's similar to the word meh, spelled M-E-H. That was an old Seinfeld type expression that actually had no real meaning. I mean, it's kind of like, whatever. Well, I hear them talking about this 6'7" thing, and I want to take that just one number higher. There are 2 verses that I try to live by. The first is Isaiah 6:8, which responds to God's question of who will go for us, whom shall we send? And Isaiah said, "Here am I, Lord, send me." The other one is from Micah 6:8, a verse that Randy has spoken on numerous times. The message we find there is for each of us to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with our God. I will consider it an honor to have the opportunity to serve and a privilege to be able to help others. May God bless the work we do together. Thank you very much.